And I know the genesis of this, you knew someone who kind of had like a ghostly encounter or maybe something like that, but then you also toured had something happen to you as well.
Yeah, actually the duplex part of the movie came from, is inspired from my life, because I'm still living in the duplex, but our neighbors moved out, and for a couple of weeks the other side of the house was empty. And one night I started hearing these strange sounds coming from the other side, like close to knockings. And then I heard footsteps, and I thought that it was my kids coming down the stairs, like they had woken up, and no one was in the stairway. And then I realized, like, this is coming from the other side. Someone is walking in the stairs on the other side of the duplex, but no one lives there. So I mean, I never got an explanation. Probably was just the new neighbors taking like measures or something.
Or
I
a
don't
ghost,
know.
who knows?
Or a ghost. But that, like that, along with me and Oskar already talking to this family about what happened to them, and they had a scary experience. These things combined created the idea for the Evil Next Door.
Yeah, and you can really see that in the film, that there's some authenticity to like this experience, right? Oskar, what about you? What was your experience like with the paranormal?
I don't have that many. I was really scared as a child of all things paranormal and all that, but I can't remember anything. We have stories in my family with Vetta, like it's like a sort of troll. It's a Swedish thing, and my great grandmother swore that she saw one once, and I remember us staying at that family cabin, and she told us the story where she saw it next to like an old type of stove, where you put in firewood, and it was there stealing, and that scared the living shit out of me when I was a kid. And I was
Was it like a tiny troll, or this is our next movie?
Ja, jag vet. Jag har tänkt på det också. But it's and she swore that she saw one, and it wasn't a nice one. It's like a tomte, like I don't know what it's called.
Like an evil spirit or something.
Nothing newer.
Yeah.
Actually,
and I saw a lot of
avoid them.
I was so impressed with the way this was shot. I love how you throw us into the action. I love the ending. I love the family drama involved in it. Tell me, who were your greatest influences toward growing up as filmmakers?
I mean,
they're not similar to this film, I'd say.
I think growing up, my greatest inspiration is coming from the 80s, like Steven Spielberg, Zemeckis, Joe Dante, and James Cameron. But moving on to horrors, it's probably back in the days, maybe Wes Craven and Eli Roth, and what's the name of that French guy who made High Tension or Switchblade Romance?
Switchblade, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, so that makes a lot of sense, because this film, I mean, it's really shot so well. It's exquisitely shot. And what about you, Oskar? Who were your influences growing up?
No. I didn't know that there was a thing called director even when I was a kid. I just thought that maybe they pointed the camera towards like Harrison Ford and him jumping around with the whip or something. But now when I I wanted to make films. I didn't know how you did. There was like a vague notion of someone making the film, I think. But when I got older, it was the same, like John Carpenter, Steven Spielberg, Zemeckis, but not them as persons, but the films they did, and like the great storytelling. But I mean, and we took the inspiration in this, how you make a scare and how you build tension and all that from like modern good horror films. But the style
was a big inspiration, of course.
Yeah. But I mean, the style, that was something else, and we decided on that. Like in the end of the process, starting very close to shooting, like how should we do this the scariest way, I think, and just the long shots. And because if we edit this up, it'll be not as scary or
Yeah.
as good, I think.
And I love the final outcome. I mean, I can't tell you enough how much I really love this film. What were your biggest challenges as a director executing this project?
That we had never done horror before. In
lack
a way.
of money. Now everything, you know, the horror, how you make things scary. We really did our homework. It took months, studied stuff, because there's no manual how to build a horror-like tension and do that stuff. So we really did the work, and the further we got, the more we realized how hard it was, I think, in a sense.
And I mean, in a way, we also did it. We really we made it hard for ourselves, because the movie is the budget is $1 million. One of the main characters or main actors was 5 years old when we did the movie, and the whole movie is shot either on a small techno crane or on a dolly. There's not a single shot without movement in the entire movie. So I mean, we didn't make it easy for ourselves making our first film.
No, and in Sweden, you know, to shoot a film where the camera isn't still, you're like an idiot if you do that.
No, this is the first movie in Sweden done entirely on a crane or
without the tripod. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Well, congratulations again. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what's next for you guys? Are you going to give us some more horror films? Or are you going to switch up the genre? What's up?
We don't know yet, actually, but we'd really love to, we want to make an American film, of course, you know, or a film, as you say in Sweden, a real film. It's the way you speak here, you know, and the US films are the real films and the Swedish ones are just in the periphery. But it doesn't have to be a horror film. It's just about storytelling and telling stories that get to you and evoke feelings of dread, like in this one, or like adventure, or we love storytelling in all shapes